Welcome to the CMO Spotlight, and I'm really excited about this conversation today with Ami Badani, who is the brand new Chief Marketing Officer for ARM.
Be humble. Don't be afraid to say you don't know. There's going to be a lot of times in your career that you just won't have the right answers, or you haven't spent a lot of time in the space, or it's a completely different experience than what you've been used to. So it's okay to raise your hand and say, I don't know, and sort of, together think about how you can solve a problem. So I think that's one thing. Another thing is relationships really carry you forward. So build bridges versus burn bridges. One of my superpowers is that technical curiosity. I'm always asking the why and the how and trying to get into the technical weeds, and then being able to elevate that into a story. So I think that's sort of one of my superpowers. I think the other one is building relationships, I think has served me well. And so building relationships, I think, is just another superpower that I have that's just innate in my kind of personality and just my style. Be empathetic. So, everyone has circumstances, experiences, everyone has their personal life, their professional life. So empathy is something that I strongly value and part of kind of building the team. Be humble, as I talked about earlier. I think the best ideas come from everywhere. So, inside the organization, at all levels of the organization, outside of the organization, outside of the company, the best ideas come from everywhere. So embrace that. Really be kind of opportunistic, look for those ideas and shepherd those, figure out if how they could really help the organization. I think another part of what I look for in values that demonstrate a leader is breaking down silos. So I talk a lot about this across the team, is overshare, break down the silos. I notice that a lot where people sort of are in their own island. And I think that causes distress and kind of a lot of conflicts. So I look for leaders that can really break down those silos and help with collaboration, communication. And then I also look for leaders that can hire for culture. So I'm a strong believer, and I've gone through my own growing pains of this, where you hire for experience over culture and it never works out. So I always look for, folks that can really be culture builders and empower the organization, because I think culture is so important. When you can get two teams that work really well together, you're just a high functioning team. And so I have this mantra that I use often, which is I build teams that have low drama, high productivity. And so that's sort of characteristics I look for in people, in teams, in leaders, and really it's something that I hold the team accountable for. Hire for low drama, high productivity, and all will be well. I'm not sure if it's as much of a campaign as it is a philosophy. And I think NVIDIA does it phenomenally well, which is use the ecosystem to your advantage. And if you look at the way NVIDIA goes to market, it's all through their ecosystem. I mean, you have every partner in the world talking about NVIDIA. That any artificial intelligence partner right now that's doing anything around that space is talking about NVIDIA. And so they don't go out and market themselves, but they talk about themselves as a platform, as an enabler, and how they can help their partners be successful. And I think that's super powerful, because then you don't have to do all this direct marketing, because your partners are telling your story for you. And so I've realized that through my experience, most recently at NVIDIA, that is just very, very powerful. So for ARM, given that we are ubiquitous and pervasive across so many different platforms, and we talked a little bit about that earlier. There's a lot we can do with the ecosystem to get leverage and demonstrate how XYZ company is using ARM in their, day-to-day, and showing that story. And I think having partners tell that story for us is way more powerful than ARM telling that story on its own. So it's really a philosophy around how can we get leverage from the ecosystem to help tell the ARM story. Answer with two. One that's probably, I'm sure, an answer that comes up very frequently, which is Apple. I mean, I think it's one of the most loved brands in the world, and that's pervasive. It's consistent. I mean, you know what you're going to get when you get an Apple device, whether it's your phone, your AirPods, your Mac, or whatever it is. I mean, it's just consistent, and the user experience is consistent, and they've really evolved and transformed from what they used to be in the late 90s to now what they are today. So it's just been remarkable to see Apple through the decades of change. I think the other one is Louis Vuitton, only because they've been able to create a premium brand. and really create this niche audience or of people with just their brand. I mean, if you look at LV and you kind of stamp that logo onto anything, it's like automatically puts you in this premium category. If you kind of go to the shopping malls and you look at all these luxury brands, LV is like the one with the lines out the door. So they've really created and cultivated a following.